An Amber Alert has recently been issued for a 2-month-old baby and his mother. Find out how you can help authorities find them next.
With the 2016 election in sight, VUTV went out on campus to discover the general opinion students have on the presidential race.
Today was a fairly gloomy day at Valparaiso University's campus. If we take a look at our sky cam, we still see some clouds overhead. I'll let you know when the sun returns later in my forecast.
We'll have that and more. This edition of The Shield starts right now.
Live from the VUTV studio in Schnabel Hall on the campus of Valparaiso University. This is The Shield on VUTV.
Thank you for joining us on The Shield. I'm Claire Marshall.
And I'm Marguerite Incardone.
Breaking news out of Hammond, Indiana. A mother and her 2-month-old child have been abducted. Police say Yolanda Walker and her son Raphael have been missing since Sunday and are believed to be in extreme danger. Police are currently looking for Raphael Benavu and the suspect in this case. If you have any information on Raphael or Yolanda Walker, contact the Hammond Police Department at 1-888-58-AMBER immediately. Check out the VUTV Facebook page for more details on this case.
The Christopher Center at Valparaiso University recently celebrated the right to read banned books. VUTV's Jessica Burns has more on the story.
This is an annual event. We've done it, I want to say, for almost a decade now. So the form is pretty down pat. It's the fun part for me is selecting who's going to read and what they're going to read. So the format itself, not too bad. The selecting of the readers is the most difficult part. Books themselves are so important, especially for us as a country that relies so much on the First Amendment as our freedom of expression. Many students especially don't realize that these books have been banned or have been challenged. They seem kind of part and parcel to what we do every day, especially a classic like Huck Finn, or something you wouldn't even consider like Voltaire. You'd think, oh, that's just old-fashioned stuff. No one would possibly consider banning that. But people ban them every single year. This past year there was almost 370 challenges. It affects more students in the K through 12 school system because academia tends to be a little more forgiving when it comes to intellectual freedom. However, Fun Home that I just mentioned 2 years ago was challenged at Duke University, where students said they were just uncomfortable with it and they tried to sue them. So it becomes an issue there as well. And personally, I think that if it's uncomfortable, that's the reason to read it, especially in university when you are here to be challenged, to be intellectually challenged, and to have your ideals kind of challenged to make you into who you really are going to be as an adult. And this is the safe place to do it.
Yeah, the readout was really great. It was really cool to see all of the books that have been banned that just don't really make sense, especially to me as an American. The right to read banned books is really important because a lot of times they deal with really important social issues, which we don't really get to see if our right to see those is being restricted.
The newest addition to campus this year is the new STEM building located across from the Valparaiso University Center for the Arts. The new building is set to be on one of the many to help expand Valpo's science programs. Eric Ruzanski has more on the story.
Well, the vision is actually not just a single building. The vision is the entire STEM village. And the idea is to combine the building Gellerson and Feitz, which houses engineering and math, computer science, and to be able to bring together all of our science, engineering, STEM facilities into a single campus, into a single STEM village. And so this building will basically house the chemistry department plus about half of the biology department. What we didn't want was another, corridor, buildings on each side, door at the end of the hall. And we wanted to give the building a slightly nice, more open, more inviting kind of sense, and that's why you're going to see the huge amounts of glass on both ends of the building. We've been either on or ahead of schedule. We're looking at completion June, early July, and that would give us a month and a half, 6 weeks thereabouts to get moved in before classes start.
Things are certainly heating up in the 2016 race for the presidency. At this time last week, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton duked it out on a national stage, trying to prove that they are the right pick for the next president of the United States. After the debate, I had the chance to go out in the field to discover what Valpo students think about this year's election. Did you happen to catch the debate on Monday?
I actually did not watch it, but I was seeing a lot of the updates on it and heard a lot about it.
No, I didn't. I wanted to watch it, but I didn't.
I saw parts of it.
Actually, I did watch a little of it. I had a soccer game that night, but when I came home, I did watch a little of it.
I caught like the first 20 minutes of it.
Okay, what did you think?
I mean, they were both like just bashing each other. They were kind of avoiding questions. They were talking like bad about the other person instead.
That both Hillary and Trump dodged a lot of questions, and I didn't think it was a very productive debate. If I had come in without having any prior knowledge, it would not have swayed me either way.
Started off pretty good, but then it just kind of got out of hand and off topic a little bit, so I just cut it off.
What do you think of the candidates so far?
I think we probably could have produced better candidates, but if it's what we have to choose from, we have to. Like, we can't not vote.
They're both kind of iffy.
Oh man, well, it's definitely an interesting race. I'm not gonna give really a solid opinion, but definitely think that it's an interesting thing that it's come down to.
Are you a registered voter?
Yeah, I am.
And I'm guessing you're planning on voting the coming November.
Yes, I am.
Are you planning on voting this November?
Absolutely.
I'm about to send in my absentee ballot, so I'll get that.
Fall is finally here, and with the cooler temperatures we have been seeing recently, it looks like it's here to stay. We'll toss it over to Storm Shield meteorologist Sabrina Bates now to find out if these chilly temps are really going to stick around. Sabrina?
Yeah, we did have some cooler temps today. In fact, you might have needed your jacket outside. We had some overcast skies and some winds coming from the north at 5 miles per hour. But if we look to our southwest, we have some warmer temperatures, 73 down in Springfield, Illinois. You know, that rain that we did have the past few days, well, that has moved to our east. So we just have a high pressure system sitting over us, lots of clear skies, just a few clouds overhead for us today.
Thanks, Sabrina. Next on The Shield, Hurricane Matthew has grown in strength. Find out what this means for areas in the Caribbean.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it... If dying young won't change your mind, baby, right.
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
The South Carolina teen who opened fire in an elementary school this week has been charged with murder. According to CNN affiliate WFFF, 14-year-old Jesse Osborne is accused of shooting 2 students and a teacher at Townville Elementary on Wednesday. He is also accused in the death of his father, who was found shot to death in his home. The suspect is charged with murder and 3 counts of attempted murder. A judge determined Osborne will remain in a juvenile holding facility for now. It is yet to be determined if he will be charged as a juvenile or an adult.
A 6-year-old boy who was wounded during a school shooting in South Carolina has surrendered to his injuries. The child's mother posted on Facebook that Jacob Hall died in the hospital Saturday. The little boy was struck in the artery, which led to a massive blood loss and a brain injury. Jacob and 2 other people were hit during Wednesday's shooting spree at Townville Elementary. The other 2 victims, a teacher and a student, were released from the hospital the same day. The suspect, as we said earlier, is facing 1 count of murder and 3 counts of attempted murder charges.
The University of Illinois campus is still reeling from a bar shooting that left 1 student dead and several others injured. CNN caught up with a friend of the victim to hear a first-hand account.
George Kirchhoff from Maldine was visiting Eric Lassane over the weekend at the University of Illinois. This wasn't Kirchhoff's first time visiting Lassane at U of I. Lassane says the 2 of them have known each other since 8th grade, going to the same middle school and growing up near each other.
A really cool guy, liked to make people laugh.
The 2 were out with another friend Saturday night. Lassane says they left a party, grabbed a bite to eat, and were headed back to his apartment when something went terribly wrong.
And then on our way back, as we were just carrying our food here, just heard some pops, put my hand to my back, kind of took care of my wound, and called the authorities.
Lassane was hit by a bullet, but he wasn't the only one. His roommate was shot in the arm, and his friend Kirchhoff was shot and killed. Earlier this week, Lassane saw his friend put to rest.
It was moving, but it also helped with more closure, helped move on.
Now, Lassane is healing himself, but the bullet remains lodged in his back.
Either the muscle will push it out as it heals, or it'll just heal around it.
While his wound will heal, he says he'll continue to mourn the loss of his friend.
Attorneys for Chicago police officer Jason Van Dyke, who is accused of murdering Laquan McDonald in 2014, want access to McDonald's juvenile record. Their request last month for the same thing got rejected. Video from a police dashboard camera showed Van Dyke shooting Laquan 16 times as McDonald walked away from the police with a knife in his hand, ignoring commands to stop. Attorneys argue for the records are necessary to craft Van Dyke's defense, saying for prior medical conditions or charges are relevant. Van Dyke's attorneys argued their reasons in court today.
Have been suffering from. We also are entitled to know whether or not he was using any medication on that date. The individual or the initial records have shown that he had PCP in his system, a significant amount. We're entitled to know if there was any drug interactions.
The judge is expected to make a decision at the next hearing date. Up next, we will take a look at this week's weather storm Shield meteorologist Sabrina Bates.
And in just a bit, we'll hear from Katie Nickolaou with this week's recap in sports after this quick break.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it...
If dying young won't change your mind, baby, 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 right.
broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
Today definitely felt like fall with those temperatures in the low 60s, but the next few days we have the temperatures warming up again, and with that we also have some storms on the way. So let's take a look at our current conditions right now. We have 73 down in Champaign. South Bend is at 63, but as we zoom in closer to home, we have 65 in Chicago, and Joliet's a bit warmer at 67. Valpo is at 63 like I said, but let's look at the radar right now. If we look to our west, we do see some rain showers in the Rockies. But let's take a look over in Florida. There are also some rain showers there. But if we take a look at home here, we just have a high pressure system. Just a few clouds overhead as we zoom in closer to home. Just a few clouds overhead right now, but in the next few hours, those clouds are going to be on and off throughout tonight. We can see a few of them overhead today, and even as we head into going to class tomorrow morning, it's for tomorrow evening where we start to see a break in those clouds, some clear skies. But after that, we also see this band of rain showers that does move its way into our area, but we won't be concerned about that until later Wednesday evening, maybe into Thursday. Now, along with those rain showers, our temperatures are still going to be a bit different with this. If we take a look at the next few hours, it's going to be about 67 as we head out the door tomorrow morning. But as we continue throughout the day, our temperatures rise. Look at this, 75 in Valpo for dinner time tomorrow. And the temperatures continue to rise overnight. And for Wednesday, it's going to be 80. Definitely going to feel like summer like it was a few weeks ago. It's not going to feel like fall anymore until we get until later in the week. That's when our temperatures start to return to normal. But tonight you are going to need maybe a coat still, as we have a low of 55 degrees, and there is still a chance of some patchy fog later in the evening into tomorrow morning, and we have some winds coming from the east at 5 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, we do warm up with our temperatures. It'll be a high of 75. It'll be sunny and could get a bit breezy because we have a gust possibility of up to 15 miles per hour. But let's take a look at our temperatures the next few days. Tomorrow, our temperatures does start to rise into the mid-70s, and after that, our temperatures hit 80, which is very much like summer. And along with those hot temperatures, we have rain chances throughout Saturday. But after that, our temperatures dip down into the low 60s, a lot more comfortable.
Well, I'm so excited for those 80s. I absolutely love warm weather, and I like rain too, so it's my kind of weather.
I just brought all my sweaters from home though, so now I'm gonna have to bring out the shorts and t-shirts again, so.
I know, I was not expecting this warm temperatures to be back again. I was ready for fall.
I know.
Well, still fall, that's the good thing, but time for pumpkin spice lattes and all that kind of good
All
stuff.
the great fall things are coming our way, except we have those warm temperatures still.
All right, thanks, Sabrina. Katie Nickolaou will share some great news about Crusader football along with other sporting news up next.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it...
If dying young won't change your mind,
broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
As a whole, it wasn't the best of weekends for Valpo athletics. However, a couple different VU teams had big success when it came to conference play. First off, the men's soccer team hosted Horizon League leader Oakland with an opportunity to stand alone atop the conference standings. The Crusaders came in at 2-0-1 and on a 2-game winning streak following wins over both Cleveland State and Eastern Illinois. And in what was an extremely physical game, the Crusaders were able to squeak out 1-0 win of a Kenan Anderson goal. Nico Campbell was fantastic as he has been all year long, making 5 saves during the big shutout. This is a team that has been talked about that could potentially make a big run this year. So a win over a top talent team like Oakland is a big backup to that statement. The Crusaders are atop the Horizon League currently at 3-0-1 and are back in action tonight on the road in Omaha. It was also a huge week for the women's soccer team. They also picked up a huge conference win. While the men took care of business at Brown Field, the women traveled to Green Bay to take on a lower-tier Phoenix team. It was the first Corey Griffin who found the back of the net for the Crusaders in the 59th minute, and then the sophomore is absolutely on fire and recorded her 4th match-winning goal of the year, matching a Crusader program record. Vanessa Abad later added an insurance goal, and the Crusaders cruised to a 2-0 win, which was the 2nd conference win in a row after the Detroit loss. They'll look to stay hot this upcoming Saturday on the road at Wright State. And spirits were high for the Valparaiso football program as they traveled to Morehead State on a 2-game winning streak. Valpo came in following wins 2 quality programs in Trinity International and Davidson. Following an early Morehead touchdown, Bailey Gessinger answered a quick back with a 89-yard return to knot things up a 7 apiece. This was a huge play, especially for the Crusaders' special teams. It's been great to see them and evolve throughout the season. Look at him run right into the end zone, no one behind him. Hopefully we can see more of that in the coming season. Next up, Ryan Clark finds Frank Katrine for a 15-yard touchdown to put the Crusaders up 26-21. That would stay the score until just 20 seconds left in the game when Morehead scored on the go-ahead touchdown and then punched in a 2-point conversion. Heartbreak was the story for the Crusaders. 29-26 was your final. Jared Morgan continued his success on the ground with his 3rd straight 100-yard day. Along with Morgan, Jean Rene put together a good day receiving-wise with 88 yards and a touchdown. This loss, no question, hurts, but in a way, but the Crusaders will look to bounce back this Saturday at home when they host Drake. And on another note, the volleyball team lost a pair of matches this past weekend to Youngstown State and Cleveland State. They are just 1-3 through 4 conference games. So guys, as you can tell, it was an up and down weekend for Crusader athletics. This weekend should be an exciting one though for Valpo football. We'll go out to Eric Ruzanski out in Brownfield to get us the details on the game this Saturday. How's it looking out there, Eric?
Hey guys, how you doing in the studio? Things are gearing up out here at Brownfield for this weekend's matchup against the Drake Bulldogs. That's going to be taking place here Saturday at 1 o'clock. So currently the Crusaders are up 1-0 for their conference. They're 2-2 overall for this season, and currently at Brownfield they're 2-0. They're hoping for a win this weekend as that's going to put them up 3-0. Now the last time the Crusaders were actually up 3-0 was back in 2004. So students, come on out. You do get in for free with your one-card ID. We're really hoping to pack these stands this Saturday. Come on out and support your Crusaders. And have a great time. This Saturday is looking like it's going to be beautiful. Maybe it's just a slight chance of showers. Sabrina, I'm sure you're going to have more on that coming up in the 7-day. For VUTV, I'm Eric Ruzanski reporting live from Brownfield.
All right, thanks, Eric. That was this would be an amazing feat, actually, if the team won. I can't believe 3 home wins since 2004. I think that would be a major accomplishment for the team.
Yeah.
So I would definitely love to see that. And I'm going to be here this weekend, so it would be great.
I'm for sure going to that game.
Oh, yeah. I love seeing the coaches get animated. They get so animated on the sideline. It's like an extra show along with the football games. It's a lot of fun.
In the past 2 home games, they won, so
yeah.
especially the homecoming and that was great. And so you can't miss it.
Exactly.
It's
just a great way to spend it.
Upsetting with the loss in the
I
final
know.
couple seconds,
I was
but
listening to it and I was so nervous and I didn't know why. And then they lost and I'm just like, no! It was so bad.
Yeah.
But you know, I think they'll bounce back.
still hope.
Oh, they're
for sure.
healthy and they have their starters. I think they'll be able to do it.
I have faith.
We'll be right back with a final look at your weather broadcast.
Good morning, Valparaiso University. What's a better way to start your day than with a new jam? And WVUR has just what you need.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it... If dying young won't change your mind, baby,
Broadcasting sports, news, weather, and music on air, online, and on campus. WVUR is my jam.
And the weather, the next few days, it's going to be increasing our temperatures, but tonight it does look clear for us, which is going to be great. Some clear skies. You could see a few clouds, but besides that, we'll be good. The next few days, we could be seeing some rain, but we're clear from rain for tonight.
And you know, a fun fact, I don't think you and I are both meteorology majors, along with Marguerite. And are you a meteorology major?
No, I'm not.
Well,
Not
you
on
know
one
what?
right now.
Just the three of us, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the meteorology program here. And it just so happens that's the 25th anniversary of our program. So Aaron Mandela's Castro has the full story for us.
So the meteorology program at Valparaiso is 25 years old this year. It was begun in 1991 when Professor Yankee, who was then the chair of the Department of Geography, took the interest of a number of students at heart and got the program developed through the various faculty committees and got administrative approval. And I had the privilege of being hired as the first meteorologist here in 1993. Well, when I first got here, the majors were almost entirely geography students who were interested in a full-fledged meteorology degree. So we grew from perhaps a half dozen, 8 or so, maybe at max, meteorology majors when I first arrived, and by the turn of the century, around the year 2000, we were up around 100 students. So it grew very, very rapidly. It became national in scope very, very quickly, and we grew with students from both coasts, the Intermountain West. We had students from virtually all over the country. I've been joined by 4 or 5 now excellent faculty colleagues with skill sets and talents that complement each other and really make the program very broad, far-reaching, and I think all that more excellent. I think what really sets us apart is the fact that the faculty here are here because we're most interested in the success of the students and teaching undergraduates.
Well, for Katie, Sabrina, Marguerite, and myself, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week on The Shield.